All right, how you guys doing? Gonna go over a trade today I took on UTX. Similar to the last video that I posted, it's a gap up stock. You see here it's gapping up on the daily. I believe it was earnings. And as with most things that are gapping up, everybody's looking to possibly take them long. You have to make sure to look at the daily. So if you here look at the daily, it gapped up into all of this congestion, all this nonsense here. That's just noise. That's stuff that would be impossible to break through or very difficult at the least. So with that sort of thing, you look still for it to grind higher and go long, but you also can possibly look for pullbacks and sell-offs. So this was just one of many stocks on my watch this morning, and again, similar to the last video I posted at open, it did some big fluctuations, selling off, bouncing back, but it couldn't break above its pre-market high. Well, actually, it did break above its pre-market high, but the 119 resistance level, it hit and just got slammed back down, so it couldn't really break through it. So again, just being patient, or trying to be patient anyways, and just watch the chart reveal itself. And I took two trades before the working trade, so I kind of didn't follow my own advice necessarily. So it tried to make a move higher, it failed, and then it just started these lower highs right here. It started just wedging and making lower highs. And me seeing this, I was trying to time it. I was trying to predict when the breakdown, right? You shouldn't be predicting these things. This is something I'm struggling with personally. Is I'm trying too hard to predict, and even then, there's nothing wrong with predicting. But if you're going to predict like I did right here, so this is my first trade. I'll try to go short, right, for predicting a breakdown. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to try to predict something, then you need to have a legit stop. So in this situation, my legit stop should have been right here above this this last high, but it wasn't. So I went short trying to predict it, and as soon as it started to go up against me, I just got spooked out. Weak hands. I got a little scared. I didn't want to lose too much money on the trade, so I stopped myself out right there. Now, again, like I said, if I had a legit stop, then this trade would have worked out perfectly. It would have worked out beautifully. I would have had to have suffered through some of the sideways action, but it would have worked out perfectly, and I would have saved myself the lost money on this stop. So again, predicted, stopped myself out, chopped myself out, trying to because I wasn't being legit. I wasn't having a legit stop. So again, it made a lower high, and as it was rolling down, me trying to predict again, went short, even higher than the previous short, went higher looking for the breakdown, and just like before, it bounced off this little area, and as it started to go back up, I was just very fearful that it was going to go up, because at this point the market, I believe, was actually going up. So I was scared that this thing was holding VWAP. Market was kind of grinding higher, going higher. I was afraid that this thing was just going to do another leg higher. But I should have trusted myself. I should respect this trend line I drew, recognize the lower highs, and just wait for the break. Right? Wait for confirmation is something I keep telling myself and telling to other people I talk to about this. In the end, waiting for confirmation and taking that slight slippage, getting a little late into the trade, ultimately will save you money. You'll make more money because you'll saved all these commissions and losses on these small chop outs, right? So I need to avoid doing this. Predicting is fine. I don't mind it, but I need to have legit stops if I do that. Or I think the better advice for myself personally is waiting for confirmation, right? Wait, I should have gotten in on the candle at the break of this range, right? Where these two lower wicks had gone. I should have waited to get into the trade there. But anyways, I got back to my predicting ways because it was really wedging bad, right? I was like, this time it has to work. And so I went short again. And thankfully it did, right? And with the big gap up that this was, I knew it was going to drop quite a ways, right? Because it's a pretty high price stock. And with the gap up it had, I believe it was up like, I don't know, it was $8 on the day at this point. I forgot the exact number. But I knew it was going to pull back a lot. So, I went short there, and I just started covering it at the half and whole numbers. 117.50, 117. Wait for this little roll. Because I didn't want to get spooked out, right? So I was telling myself, be patient, be patient. Something I keep telling myself is wait for a reason to get out, right? Don't imagine a reason to get out. Wait for a reason to actually get out, right? So it had flushed down to here. I had two covers at this point, this one at 117. And it was starting to just kind of, congest here a little bit, consolidate. But then it was also rolling, making little minor lower highs. So I knew it was going to continue lower, right? So then it made its next leg lower, covered at the next half dollar, 116.50. And here is where it really started to go sideways a little bit. So I set a target of 116 or a little bit above 116. I don't really wait for the whole numbers because that's just tempting fate, waiting for things to be perfectly on the whole number. So I always go for a little bit above it. And so I was able to leg out of this pretty neatly. I was quite happy with the price action on this. So that wasn't actually my final cover. So this was a last little nibble. After these were like 25 share covers, so I went short 100, 25, 25, 25. And then here with my last lot, I try to milk it a lot. So this cover here was actually for 10 shares. Or I'm sorry, 15. And so then that left me with 10 shares left over. And with that, I told myself, I'm just going to let this ride or die. I'm going to set a stop. I'm just going to hopefully let it grind down lower all day. So that's what I did. I just squashed it all day. I sat here and it kept making lower highs. It looked like it was, again, like here, I got scared, right? Right here, I was like, oh my God, it's going to go up against me. I'm going to lose my money. But I held. I stayed firm. It didn't go above this little, these tops, right? And then it continued lower. So I just watched it dribble down all morning. And then I just kept lowering my stop. So I had a stop up here above these candles, above those highs. And as it kept making legs lower, I would move my stop down. So then it came down to here. I moved my stop above these candles, made a leg lower. When I made this leg lower, I bounced. I put my stop above these candles. And then I made another leg lower and bounced. And I put my stop above these candles. And it just kept going and going. And eventually it bounced, made another leg lower, which I could have covered. But again, these were my final 10 shares. I was really wanting to milk it, just see how low it could go. But this bounce was the final bounce, and it stopped me out. So overall, I am very happy with this trade. It was beautiful, except for my little chop outs, like I said, I did to myself, right? My predicting and not waiting for confirmation, or my having too tight of stops. So I need to do one or the other: wait for confirmation, or have legit stops above the highs of the candles preceding the low. So again, if I had my stop up here, then the trade would have worked out beautifully with my very first entry, right? I would have held it and would have flushed, and I would have saved this money on these losses. But I didn't. So I need to either have legit stops or wait for confirmation. I'm still trying to work out my psychology on that one, or which one I prefer. But nonetheless, this trade did work out for the better, and it was beautiful. I love these gap up and then fade stocks once they sell off. Something I really love, especially now when it's earnings season. So hope you guys found this informational. Please like and share and comment on the videos. Let me know that you like the content I'm putting out there. It really helps motivate me to keep making these. So I hope you guys had a good trading day. I'll see you guys in the market tomorrow.